Planet Plastix, the wacky mission. It all started on a perfectly ordinary Tuesday. Jonas was sitting on the couch, laughing out loud at a video on his tablet where a man juggled watermelons and accidentally hit himself in the head. Malik, his little brother, was trying to break his own record in world's tallest trash tower by stacking plastic bottles on top of each other. Alma, their older sister, was typing an angry email to the supermarket because she had discovered that their so-called reusable bags were actually made of regular plastic. Everything was normal in the Rasmussen household until Jonas, still laughing, reached for his soda and knocked over Malik's trash tower. The plastic bottles rained down onto the floor, and Malik let out a dramatic scream as if he'd just lost an Olympic final. "Seriously, Jonas," yelled Malik, throwing an empty milk carton at his brother, who only laughed harder. "You ruined my record attempt." "It wasn't on purpose," Jonas said with a shrug. "But maybe you should build something that actually holds up?" Alma walked into the living room, hands on her hips. "Who forgot to take out the trash? The kitchen smells like a pizza box warehouse." The two brothers immediately pointed at each other. "It's your turn," they said in unison. Alma sighed and pointed at Malik. "You're the youngest. You can handle it. And if you do, I won't choose broccoli salad for dinner." Malik grabbed the trash bag immediately. No one was going to threaten him with broccoli. With a dramatic sigh, he headed out to the backyard toward the trash can. But as he lifted the lid, he froze. The lid shimmered. It wasn't a regular shimmer, like sunlight hitting something. No, this was a green, glowing light that made the trash can look like it was about to perform a magic trick. "Jonas?" Malik called nervously. "Are there batteries in the trash can? It's glowing." Jonas stuck his head out the door. "What are you talking about?" he asked, but stopped short when he saw the green light. "Whoa, that looks cool. Touch it." "You touch it." Malik nudged the trash can with his foot. At that exact moment, he was sucked in with a loud whoosh. "Malik!" screamed Jonas, running toward the trash can. "You didn't seriously crawl in there, did you?" But when he looked inside, there was no Malik, just a dark, glowing tunnel. Jonas stared, dumbfounded. "Okay, this is definitely not normal." Alma came running out. "What's going on? Jonas, why are you staring at the trash can like an idiot?" It swallowed Malik," Jonas said, pointing frantically. "He's gone." Alma stared at the trash can, then at Jonas, and sighed. "If this is one of your dumb pranks, I swear I'm going to lose it." "It's not a prank." Jonas pointed into the trash can, and Alma leaned forward to look. Just as she did, an invisible force pulled her into the tunnel, too. Jonas hesitated only a moment before jumping in after them. They tumbled through a glowing, spinning tunnel that smelled like a strange mix of old banana peels and lemon cleaner. Malik screamed. Jonas yelled something about never touching the trash can again, and Alma desperately tried to keep her shoes on. Suddenly, they landed with a thud, right in the middle of a mountain of plastic bottles. They looked around, trying to figure out where they'd ended up. The trash heap beneath them crackled and shifted, almost as if it were breathing. Jonas picked up a broken plastic fork and shook his head. "Okay, this is officially the weirdest landfill I've ever seen." "It's not a landfill," Alma said, pointing toward the horizon. "It's a whole world." As far as the eye could see, there were mountains of old plastic bottles, rivers of fizzy soda, and strange trees with branches made of metal parts and chip bags. The sky was a pale green, and the air buzzed with sounds, crinkling plastic, clicking from old keyboards, and, oddly enough, something that sounded like grunting. "Wait, what's that?" Malik pointed at a trash pile that was moving. Out of the pile emerged a group of small creatures. They had round bodies, big shiny eyes, and arms that looked like tiny robotic claws. One of them wore a banana peel like a crown and waved dramatically. "Welcome to Plastix, strange beings. We're the Trashlings, and we've been waiting for you." "Waiting for us?" Jonas repeated skeptically. "We just came out to take out the trash. How could you possibly have been waiting for us?" The little trashling looked confused and shrugged. "We don't know. We're just always waiting for someone. It feels like the right thing to do." Malik burst out laughing while Alma sighed. "Okay, what's going on here?" Why does everything look like a giant recycling station gone wrong? The trashling wearing the banana peel shook its head dramatically. It's because our world is dying. Everything is covered in trash, and we don't know what to do. We used to have a beautiful planet with blooming trees and clear lakes, but now it's all ruined. Malik picked up a plastic bag. So why don't you just clean it up? One of the other trashlings giggled nervously. We don't know how. We usually just push the trash somewhere else. But now, there's nowhere else to push it. Jonas rolled his eyes. That sounds like my little brother when he cleans up. Hey! Malik protested, but before he could say more, a roar echoed in the distance. The sound made the entire trash mountain tremble. What was that? Alma asked, grabbing onto a pile of old CDs for balance. The trashling with the banana peel suddenly turned serious. That's the trash monster. It gets stronger every day. If we don't find a way to stop it, the whole planet will be buried in garbage. Alma frowned, planting her hands on her hips. So why haven't you done something about it? We tried, shouted another trashling, rolling back and forth in frustration. But we don't know how. We have no idea what recycling is or how to separate waste. Jonas sighed, tossing a plastic fork over his shoulder. So that's why we're here? To clean up after you? Yes. All the trashlings said in unison, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Fine, Alma said, taking a deep breath. If we're going to save this planet, and we need to work together. First of all, who has an idea for how to start? The trashlings stared at each other until one of them raised a claw-like arm. We could push the trash somewhere else? That clearly doesn't work, Alma said. What about sorting it into piles? The trashlings immediately started throwing trash around to make piles, but the result was complete chaos. Malik started laughing while Jonas shook his head. Okay, stop, Alma shouted. We need a better plan. Jonas shrugged. We could try building something to help sort all this. Like what? Malik asked. Like a giant recycling machine, Jonas said with a grin. I might be able to use some of this junk to make a prototype. Alma nodded. And in the meantime, I'll teach everyone how to sort trash. I can help, Malik said eagerly. I'm good at getting people to do stuff. It's like that time I got Jonas to take the trash out for me. Jonas threw an empty bottle at him, but Malik dodged it, laughing. With the kids as their leaders, the trashlings got to work. Jonas built a machine using old parts he found in piles of electronic junk. Alma used her school knowledge to teach the trashlings how to recycle plastic, metal, and paper. And Malik turned it all into a competition, promising magical prizes to the trashlings who sorted the most. But in the midst of their efforts, the trash monster stirred again. The massive creature, made of compressed garbage, roared as it grew bigger every day. Jonas realized they had to find a way to break down the monster, or it would consume the entire planet. I have an idea, Jonas said, staring at his machine. If we can gather enough trash and sort it properly, we can activate a reaction to break down the monster from the inside. But how do we get the monster to eat it? Alma asked. It needs to look tasty, Malik said with a grin. Like a trash buffet. They built an enormous trash trap and placed it in the center of the planet. The trash monster was drawn to it and began swallowing the garbage. When the trap activated, the monster exploded into tiny, harmless plastic flakes, which Jonas's machine immediately started recycling. Plastix was saved. The trashlings cheered and promised to take better care of their planet. Jonas, Alma, and Malik were hailed as heroes and sent back to Earth with one final message from the trashlings: remember to take care of your own planet. We'll be watching. When they landed back in their backyard, the trash can was still, but the kids knew their adventure wasn't over. Their first task? Starting a recycling station in their own neighborhood and teaching their friends what they had learned.